probably there will be a slowdown in the economy activities in 2012, especially in Europe. Which are the most profitable sectors according to you? Which ones would you avoid instead?
Well, in China, we expect a further relaxation of monetary policy as a reaction to the situation in Europe. This will have a positive impact on the property sector. It will have a positive impact on the banking sector as well. This is completely different from the situation only 6 months ago. We anticipate some further relaxation to be gradual over the year, and these are definitely two sectors that should perform well this year. Now, sectors that we tend to avoid, that should not perform too well this year, include the car sector. The car sector has been going absolutely nowhere over the past 12 months, especially after the withdrawal of stimulus tax incentives and stimulus packages for purchasing cars. The other sectors that we avoid are exporters. Exporters, of course, for obvious reasons, will do pretty badly this year. The third sector that we would tend to avoid would be the bulk shipping. Bulk shipping, so I'm talking about cargo shipping, because of a very, very large oversupply of ships coming for delivery this year.
How the Eurozone crisis could affect China growth?
Well, of course, we're talking about exports here. China today exports 20%, approximately 24% to be precise, of Chinese exports are going to Europe. So undoubtedly, any slowdown of the European economy will have an impact on Chinese exports. Having said that, the impact will be much lower this year than it could have been only 4 or 5 years ago, simply because the part of exports into the Chinese economy has come down a lot. Net exports today is about 2.5% of GDP, when it was about 8% of GDP less than 10 years ago. So don't expect such a drastic impact on the Chinese economy from the European slowdown, but there will be one, clearly.
According to the last data preview, China's growth will probably slow down. Which is your opinion about this, and how would you face a slowdown in the Chinese economy?
The economy is going to slow down. We anticipate for this year between 8 and 8.6% GDP growth. Now, don't pay too much attention to what the Premier Wen Jiabao disclosed last week at the end of the National People's Congress, when he came out with a 7.5% number for this year. Now, the Premier of China has been doing that kind of forecast for the past 15 years at the end of each National People's Congress, and the real number has always been much, much stronger than that. If we take the example of 2007, for instance, the target that year was 8%, and the economy grew by more than 14%. So I would look at this number as a floor, but definitely not as a target. So I do not anticipate the economy to slow down as much as what could be anticipated just by listening to what he said last week. We remain reasonably bullish in the sense that the growth of the economy, even it will be slower this year, will probably be of better quality in the sense that domestic consumption will keep on being boosted. And as I said, exports will be less important than they used to be just a few years ago.
JKC China Value is an absolute return equity fund that invests exclusively in value stocks. When would you consider a stock as value?
Well, it's a mixture of several parameters. Parameters that concern multiple of cash flow, parameters concern the balance sheet, such as multiple of net asset value. It's a matter of dividend yield as well. It's a matter of gearing ratio. The gearing ratio has to be as low as possible. Now, if we put numbers in front of that, well, we're looking for EV to EBITDA, which has to be lower than 1. We're looking for PEG ratios, which is the price earnings divided by growth, which is around 0.5, which means that the earnings growth is twice as much as the P ratio. We are looking for gearing ratio for the company that is almost zero, if not negative, and we're looking for dividend yield that are high as possible naturally. In terms of return on equity has to be around 20 to 25% to also fit into that category.
At the moment, your fund is 25% based on financial stocks. Will you keep this weight, or are you considering to rebalance the portfolio?
Well, we actually rebalanced recently the portfolio to get to this 25% that you're talking about. We used to have virtually zero exposure to the financial sector. So we're quite happy with the way it is positioned now. We are going to keep exposure to the property sector and to the banking sector as long as you have relaxation of the monetary policy in China, which we anticipate to last for at least a year, if not 2 years. So we are clearly now in a new situation, completely different from the one we had last year.
Which are the most profitable Asian countries in terms of investments for 2012? Where would you invest?
Well, China is very cheap, clearly. China is a cheap market which has performed pretty badly last year. It's been an underperformer. So China is clearly the locomotive of Asia, and if you're looking at growth story, China is of course the place to put your money and the cheapest place to put your money. Now, aside of China, there is strong growth coming up from Thailand. Thailand is a country that is rebounding very fast following the floodings that everyone remembers at the end of last year, during the fourth quarter of 2011. The main growth driver of Thailand is the loan growth. You have about 16% loan growth as far as banks are concerned. The other key aspect is the raise in minimum salary. It's being raised by 39% in the month of April, and this is following the election of Thaksin Shinawatра's sister, Yingluck Shinawatra, as Prime Minister of Thailand. And she promised a lot of things that when she was elected, we didn't think that she would be able to actually increase the buying power of people by raising salaries so much. But after the floodings, they had no choice than doing so. So it is happening now. And Thailand, as a result, is one of the best performers this year. The other country which is extremely exciting this year, and is also probably the smallest weighting you have in portfolios, is the Philippines. The Philippines is a country that enjoys a very strong growth coming from its business process outsourcing, which basically are the call centers that you have in the Philippines, which are growing extremely fast. And it's also due to a very high savings rate of about 35% from the Filipino population, and a loan growth, again, coming from banks of about 16% per annum. So Philippines is already performing very well this year. We reckon it is going to keep on performing extremely well, especially once again because the weighting of the Philippines is so small in the MSCI index and basically any index following Asia, that any big investor who wants to buy into the Philippines will immediately drive up the market. And this has already started to happen.